almond milk, oat milk, pistachio milk, hemp milk. Have you ever wondered which plant milk actually tastes the best? I made them all from scratch. Well, 18 of them, that is. And today we're finding out which one's worth making and which one's going straight down the sink. I'll show you exactly how to make these at home. I'll throw in a little health info too, and I'll give you the one simple rule that works for almost any nut, seed, grain, or even tuber milk, if you've ever heard of a tuber. And stick around because I'm testing and ranking every single one of them. What you can make plant milk from. You can turn all of these into milk. Nuts, seeds, greens, and even tubers like tiger nuts. And yes, I'm trying every single one, from the super popular ones like almond and oat to the weird ones you might not have even heard of. The universal plant milk rule. Ratio. Our standard ratio is going to be 1 cup of nuts, seeds, grains, whatever you've got, per 4 cups of water. If you want it creamier, you're going to shift that up to 1 cup per 3 cups of water. That's often what I use. And even lighter, which is probably less likely, but you can change your ratio a little bit more, 1 cup per 5 cups of water. This ratio works for pretty much all of them. Soaking and roasting. Do you need it? Let's start with soaking. Soaking some nuts does a few things. It makes them creamier and less bitter, but then health-wise, it reduces phytic acid, which can bind to certain minerals in the nuts and other foods you're eating along with them, and can actually reduce your body's absorption of those good minerals. Soaking additionally helps reduce compounds in the nuts that interfere with your body's digestive enzymes. So essentially, soaking can help decrease the likelihood of digestive discomfort. Here are some of the nuts and seeds, for that matter, that I would probably soak for this reason. But again, it's optional. An 8-hour or so soak or just overnight is fine. And watch out because some absorb more water than others. Soybeans, for example, are going to absorb a ton of water. So make sure you give yourself extra space. And most of the others, like I said, are optional, especially if you're just looking for a creamy result and have a really good blender. And I'll link my blender for you because I swear by that thing. And these are not nuts, but I should mention you definitely do want to soak your soybeans as well as your tuber, which is the tiger nut. And roasting is totally up to you. It's all about how nutty and toasty you want the flavor. It will also, however, reduce some of those compounds that we don't want that interfere with digestion and absorption of nutrients. Cashews and macadamias, though, usually are just blended up raw for nice and creamy milk. Pumpkin seeds are also really easy to just blend up raw. You might get a little bit of separation, but you'll figure it out. How to make plant milk. For most everything, here's the process. If needed, soak, then rinse to remove the released enzyme inhibitors and phytic acid, and blend with water in your 1:4 ratio or whatever ratio you decide to use. And strain. I'm using a nut milk bag. You could also use a cheesecloth or try to find a towel that's very similar. Don't try to press really hard to get this out. Just give it a nice gentle squeeze and the milk comes out really easily. You're probably going to want to strain most of these, but it is optional based on your texture preference. And there are some, like cashews, macadamias, hemp milk, that just really don't need straining. Pumpkin seed milk also. You'll figure all of this out once you start blending. And any leftover pulp you can just make into cool little energy balls or something. Throw a little sweetener, maple syrup, honey, cinnamon, a little bit of nut butter or tahini or something to make it all stick together, a little bit of salt. You could even toast all of this and use it as granola, throw it in some pancakes. There are options. Then just chill and enjoy. Now there are a few exceptions. Soy milk, after the soaking, rinsing, and blending, needs to be cooked. This is not only to remove the raw bean taste, but it also makes it safe. There are compounds that can interfere with digestion and even be toxic in large amounts. Another exception, oat milk. If you want to reduce the sliminess, use ice cold water. And quinoa, you could soak it and then make milk from the raw quinoa, but I'm instead gonna make it from cooked quinoa for better flavor. I will also use cooked rice for the rice milk. The ultimate taste test and ranking. All right, now I've got all of these milks, 18 of them. My kitchen is an absolute disaster. I don't recommend trying to make 18 plant milks all at once. And I'm really glad I don't have a nut allergy. I will now rank these by taste, texture, ease of making, and health. You can flavor any of these with honey, maple syrup, vanilla extract, blended dates, a little salt, whatever you want. But today, we're going as is. Here goes nothing. Tiger nut, naturally very sweet. Look, if you have to soak and strain, the ease score is automatically dropping to a 2. But the tiger nut flavor is really good. I'm giving that a 5. Nutrition is also up there. Great source of resistant starch and fiber. Good for your gut. Tastes just like a walnut. Not bad. I'm giving the walnuts a 3 because they don't require a ton of straining. Coconut is good and easy, but I didn't actually strain this, and it is a little bit gritty. Health benefits are okay, some MCTs, healthy fats, not at the top of my list. Taste is good though. Soy, the most difficult of our milks. Flavor is okay. It's not the most amazing. It's kind of neutral, but there is a hint of that soybeanish flavor, so I would definitely want to sweeten this up with a little something. I do, however, like that it's our highest in complete protein, so it gets a really high nutrition score. Not bad. Taste on this one, I give a 4 out of 5. Hazelnut. Huh, that's actually better than I thought it would be. Oats, very neutral. Doesn't taste like too much. Versatile. Tastes earthy. Texture's not bad though for not having to strain. Sesame. All right, out of all of the milks, this has the strongest flavor, in my opinion. Not in a good way. It grows on you though, but I have a very, shall I say, easy to please palate. So I could drink this, but I feel like some of you guys, peanut. Honestly, not bad. Nutrition-wise, though, not the highest on my list. Pecan. It doesn't taste like too much, to be honest. Good or bad. All right, we have a special taste tester that's arrived. Let's see what he thinks of our winner. He said it tastes good. All right, so tiger nuts, probably our least common, is the winner. And it's actually made from a tuber, which is basically part of a root that can turn into another plant, essentially. You do have to soak these, and they're not readily available in most grocery stores, but it has a really nice sweet taste and health benefits. Hemp actually came in second place. Super easy to make and also really nutritious. Almond, hazelnut, and cashew milk were all tied for third. And pistachio and macadamia came in at a very close fourth place. And at the top of my list for nutrition, although this can be argued, is soy, hemp, pumpkin, tiger nut, and almond. I love that these are super simple to make if you don't make 18 of them. No additives, a great addition to your smoothie routine or whatever. Put these in a creamy pasta, the possibilities are endless. Tell me what you like to make with your plant milk. Which one's your favorite and why? And remember to eat real food. I'll see you in the next video.